Hello and a very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to today's Market Outlook. My name is Edmund. So today is a Tuesday, 7th of July, 2020. During yesterday's Market Outlook and daily analysis video, we were looking at the US dollar weakening at about 12 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time as the analysis and the video was uploaded. So eventually, the US dollar weakened throughout the whole day until the US trading session. And of course, we can see the euro dollar moving up about 80 pips. And of course, we do see the gold prices also moving up about 15 US dollars, 1.5. Okay, so markets came back from the long weekend, including a holiday for the US on Friday, followed by Independence Day celebrations on the 4th of July, which was a Saturday, and yesterday on a Monday, as the US traders came back into the markets. Again, the major movements was the US dollar weakening and gold prices spiking up. Okay, so let us have a look and see what is coming up for the next 24 hours before we analyze the US dollar further and during the technical charts analysis section. So for today, Tuesday, 7th of July, we will be having from Australia, the Royal Bank of Australia, the cash rate and rate statement. So this one will be announced at about 12:30 p.m. later today. Okay. So at 12:30 p.m., the Royal Bank of Australia, well, I guess the cash rates or the interest rates will not be changed. It should still be maintained at 0.25%. Yeah, no expected changes there. And if we look at the Aussie dollar now, the Aussie dollar has been going up for about 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and it found some resistance since yesterday and also this morning. So it is currently breaking through this bullish trend line. So the other one would be the horizontal support. If it comes down and breaks through this support, then we may see the Aussie dollar moving further down towards the 12:30 p.m. rate announcement. Okay, so let's have a look and see what other economic data is coming out today. Mostly it will be minor economic data. At 2 p.m. we will be having the German industrial production numbers, and at 2:45 p.m. we will be having the French trade balance data. Towards 3:30 p.m. and from the UK, we will be having the Halifax house price index numbers. So markets are expecting the numbers to come in at negative 0.8%. So this would be for the house price housing market. Okay, so moving towards 4 p.m. we will be having retail sales from Italy, and towards the evening from the US we will be having the job openings and labor turnover survey. In short, it's called JOLTS, JOLTS, JOLTS job openings report at 10 p.m. Okay, again, these are not major data. Currently the drivers of the major drivers of the markets would be the COVID-19 situation in the US, which where we still see new coronavirus cases spiking, and also the tensions between US and China ever since China enacted or approved the Hong Kong security law. Okay, so there are reports from Congress and White House that the US government is lining up a string of sanctions against China or against Chinese officials. So details of those sanctions are not released yet. So once they are released, and if it's very severe, if they are very severe sanctions, then we may expect tensions between US and China to increase dramatically. Okay, so moving on towards other news and events that has been happening over the last 24 hours. Again, we see the US dollar weakening on Monday after the US traders came back from their long weekend. Okay, last Friday was a holiday, a bank holiday for the US markets as they observe a US Independence Day, and it was a big drop also. On the 4-hour charts, we can see that it is continuing its is moved lower towards the lower end of the 4-hourly consolidation phase from a high recently, and of course on the 1 hour also it will show you that it is coming down, and it is still on a bearish sentiment. Okay, so moving on later towards the UK session or the US session, a lot depends on whether the US dollar manages to hold above this support, and yeah, and this was the resistance, current resistance. So looking at it, probably the US dollar should be able to stage a mild rebound. Okay, yeah, stage a mild rebound before deciding to go up and down as new events and new economic data releases are announced. Okay, so so US dollar was weak yesterday, and looking at yesterday's data announcement, the major one yesterday was the Institute of Supply Management non-manufacturing purchasing managers index. Okay, so both the ISM non-manufacturing index and also the final services PMI, both these numbers came in better than market expectations. For the final services PMI, it came in at 47.9, above expectations of 47.0, and even more encouraging, the ISM non-manufacturing PMI came in at 57.1. So not only did it beat market expectations of a 50 reading, but at 57.1, any reading above 50 will show that the non-manufacturing sector or activities is expanding. Okay, so that is a definite plus for the economic growth of the US markets. Okay, so again, this is another good example. The numbers came in at 57.1. Some traders may think that this should be good for the US dollar, and the US dollar should strengthen. However, the US dollar didn't strengthen. In fact, it continued to weaken at about 7 p.m. onwards. And one of the ways to look at it, of course, is that with the better non-manufacturing PMI numbers, it could also mean that the US economy is starting to stabilize and possibly recover again, so causing less concerns regarding economic growth, and thus pushing down the US dollar. Okay, but regardless of the news or the theories that comes into play, always have a look at the technical charts. If the technical charts are telling us that it is bearish, then we will always follow the technical charts. Okay, so other events yesterday, just a quick update on the coronavirus situation in the US. Cases in the US continues to rise. Currently, it is increasing by about a rate of 2% new infections. Total infections currently in the US stands at 3.04 million, with more than 132,000 fatalities. Okay, so the daily average has been increasing from a low of 1.3% to a recent high of 2% in the last 3 weeks or so, and some of the worst affected states would be Florida, where cases are up 3.2%, and this is well, again, I mentioned 1 week before it was at a high of 5.1%, and yesterday's cases came in at 3.2%, marginally better, but the number of cases are still pretty high, and we still have a lot of younger generation, or even a lot of holiday makers in the US going to social gatherings, and even going to the beach for summer gatherings and summer holidays and summer parties. So yeah, so currently the situation in the US is still quite severe, and we are yet to see a bottoming out and a turnaround. Okay, so yeah, so nothing major from the economic calendar, but again, watch out for the usual 2 to 4 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. So let us move on to the technical charts analysis section.